Amazon crew. The Amazon crew.
So welcome to the Amazon Crew episode 2. So quite a lot has happened in the last week or so since we last recorded. So the Queen is dead. Conza's had a car crash. Yeah, it's all happening. So how did you survive, Conza, and what happened?
Just about. Basically, we joined the motorway. There's 2 lanes into one, and there was a guy in a BMW next to me. Decided to just cross into the white lines and smash right into the front of my Tesla.
Oh, heartbreaking. So what's happened? Is it the insurance covered it, or what have you got?
Well, I'm going for insurance, obviously,
Hmm.
but I've had pretty much nothing. I got asked for pictures, what the damage was. I got an S-Class as a courtesy car, which is quite nice. But apart from that, I've been told nothing. I'm pretty sure that's because there's a massive waiting list of parts, and it's going to be like at least 4 or 5 months, I reckon.
I think I would cry if someone crashed into me. I mean, I know obviously, yeah, it's all sorted by insurance and that, but it's just pain and effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Will you have a courtesy car the entire time until
Yeah.
they replace the
Yeah.
front of the car? Wow.
It's going to be a massive bill for the other side.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, your car's still completely drivable, right?
Yeah, I drove about 500 miles in it on Friday.
But yeah, you get the S-Class. Very
Yeah,
nice.
very nice.
I saw the pictures you sent us, actually. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, only thing is the cost of diesel is extortionate. I think I paid probably about £400 now for fuel.
Wow.
Considering that's almost the cost of the Tesla for a month, and I've had this about 2.5 weeks. It's not great.
That's insane. So yeah, Gage, you're joining the electric car crew very shortly, aren't you?
Yes, meant to get my new car on Friday. It's on the ferry currently. Yeah, really excited to pick it up. And for those that don't know, I'm getting a BMW i4, and the reason I'm getting it is it's very good as a company car for writing off a lot of tax all in one go.
But you might be flipping it.
Yeah. So
tell us about that.
I'm a little bit torn because currently, if you wanted to get an i4, the waiting list is till about June 2024.
Wow.
So if I get it, I could flip it, make 5 to 10 grand, and then just order it again and just stick with my Peugeot. I'm very tempted to do it, very tempted. But Ben does tell me that if I drive it once, I'm not going to be able to let go of it.
I don't think you'll even need to drive it once. Once you sit in the passenger seat and you're like, this could be mine, and like 5 or 10 grand or this, I think you'll fall in love with it. What do you think, Conza?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I could actually change fully from the Tesla.
Because you've already sold your old car, haven't you, Gage?
Yes, so I sold it on this site called motorway.com. You guys ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they like run an auction on your car for you, and then you can choose to accept the highest offer. So I got offered 8 grand for a trade-in, and I got 10,100 on Motorway.
Wow.
So significantly more, and they just come pick it up for you. They do a once-over, make sure you weren't lying about anything, and they send you the money and just take it away. You don't even have to drop it off.
Wow, that is impressive. I might have to do that with my knackered old Audi, which is still sitting on my driveway and rusting up.
You might have to replace the brakes first, Ben.
Well, if they come and pick it up, it'll be all right. Although they'll just drive off the drive into the car opposite, but never mind. But yeah, so so neither of you are queuing to see the Queen's coffin this weekend, then?
No. I went to see it a few days ago, actually. No, I'm joking. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. She died on my birthday, on my 21st. So couldn't really go out partying on that day. And then we were at this restaurant, and someone like tried to do a toast to the Queen, and like no one joined in. It was really awkward.
Oh,
really
wow.
terribly awkward. But Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff going on with the Queen and reselling. I mean, someone at the warehouse ordered a bunch of Queen Elizabeth Funko Pops.
Yeah.
So we've been shipping those. I think it's just one guy who's been ordering the Queen Elizabeth Funko Pops. But what are your guys' thoughts on buying something to capitalize on the monarch's death?
I
If people want to
it's
pay that much, why not?
yeah. I mean,
As long as it's not slugging it.
yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that, to be honest. I think, yeah, I mean, it's because yeah, I capitalized on it. Like I bought Queen Funko Pops and stuff like the coronation a few few months ago. But obviously, yeah, her dying is a slightly different matter. Yeah, I personally think it's fine. I so during lockdown and stuff, when people were like flipping plaster from B&Q, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't mess with people's livelihoods. Like when plaster's usually like 20 quid a bag, and you had people selling it for like 100 quid, and people need it to work to feed their families and stuff. Yeah, that doesn't sit very well with me. But
No.
yeah, it's interesting to hear. Obviously, different people have different sort of moral lines, don't they? What about you, Conza?
As long as something isn't a necessity like yourself, like plaster or some sort of food or something, then I don't see an issue with it. A PS5 isn't a necessity. We were selling them for what, double almost at one point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy. Like some of the comments you get on like Facebook Marketplace, like, oh yeah, like making a profit during a pandemic, you're a real great guy, sort of thing. And it's like, well, a PS5 isn't PS5 isn't an essential item, and people seem to have this thought. It's like, oh yeah, this was 200 quid in Argos and you're selling it for 300. And it's like, well, you do realize like Argos aren't a charity. They're literally doing what we're doing. They're selling it for a profit. So it's just, people are strange, aren't they?
Also, they get mad that there's someone selling a PS5, but the same person's probably sold 5,000 masks as well. Don't get mad about that. Get mad about the PlayStation 5 so you can play your new fucking Pokemon game.
It's crazy, I know. Well, what about pandemic stuff? Did you ever buy masks or anything like that?
I mean, I don't like to admit it, but so like right when the pandemic started, and it was only in China, I went to a local salon, and I was like, "Oh, do you have any of like the masks that nail techs wear? I'll buy it from you." And then I bought all their masks, and then I sold them on eBay, and like people from China were just buying them. But I didn't do that much. I did it once, and when I found out that it was actually spreading across the world, I
Yeah,
did stop doing that.
that was sort of before it became mainstream.
Because in my head, I was thinking, people are just overreacting. Like, no, this isn't gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. People are just like overreacting. Oh, why not sell some masks from the salon?
That's an interesting one. What about buying out other sellers' stock if they're like reprice of bugs out and things like that?
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
No, because like the thing
No
is,
mercy.
if my repricer fucks up and someone buys all of my stock, I'm not gonna go cry on Twitter, be like, "Oh, whoever did this, please give me back my stock." It's just part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many times have you done that, Conza? Bought another FBA seller's stock?
I wouldn't like to comment.
Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times. Like I think it was the Epson V39 scanner, which got tanked into oblivion. But yeah, but yeah, it was a lesson for me because it was like because I hadn't set a minimum price on it, so it was entirely my own fault. And whoever it may even have been you, Conza, whoever bought it out, I was like, yeah, fair play. And that's what led me to like be pushing out that you really need to either not be automatically repricing your high ticket items or make sure you put a minimum in because I think it tanked from 220 quid down to 150, but because I was still making more than 20% ROI or whatever, it obviously tanked down to it, and a nice little opportunity for someone.
I've still got about 80 of those scanners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What's the? I think I've got one, and I'm like, I refuse to drop it below 200 quid just out of pure
it's a
kind of stubbornness.
125 at the moment.
God, can you still pick them up? Are they like selling
I
for
don't know
less than
actually.
100 somewhere?
I've not looked, but I'm pretty sure they raised the price from 80 to like 150. Just
Hmm.
RRP. Probably once they still everyone was buying them out.
Yeah,
But it's still 125 on Amazon.
that's horrendous. Have you? So have you bought people out as well, Gage? When
I bought Thomas Parkinson out once. That's the only FBA sell I've ever bought out. Yeah, his reprice are like bugged out on some like £30 eyeliner. He priced at like £6, and I got 20 of them. But yeah, I've never actually bought another FBA seller out except Thomas Parkinson. But if I did, yeah, I'd feel no remorse in buying it. None at all.
No, fair play. Yeah, it's not something I've done. I just stick to, yeah, because it probably wouldn't look great if it was like an ATA member or something like that. It's like, oh, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Well, it's lesson learned then, isn't it? That's what
Well,
they
yeah,
paid the subscription fee for.
experience is the best teacher, isn't it? So, yeah, but yeah, the Queen stuff really has sort of brought out the worst in some people on Twitter. Like some of the comments are pretty unbelievable, and yeah, you got I think Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby skipped the queue to see the
Yeah.
coffin just to get their photo opportunity, which yeah has gone down like a lead balloon, as you would imagine.
I think the Queen would have been happy with that though, because I mean, who doesn't like Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby? They're like the nation's sweethearts, aren't they?
Well, they were. David Beckham, man of the people, queued up for 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I saw the Queen Elizabeth dolls, not the Funkos. You know the dolls that are like going for like 700 plus on
The
StockX.
Barbie things. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was like a really easy thing to do if you just bought them on the announcement that she was sick and then just sold them at the end of the day. And I
Yeah.
mean, why didn't more people think of that? I feel like there was like a big opportunity to make a lot of money if you just played that.
I
I'd like
reckon
to think if it wasn't my birthday, I probably would have thought of it. But
when they announced she was ill, chances are she was probably already dead, and they were just figuring out like, "Fuck, what the hell do we do?" in terms of
Yeah.
announcing it and stuff. So they were probably just like buying time. So yeah, that definitely would have been an opportunity there, I think. But yeah, I mean, do you reckon she's even in the coffin?
no,
I'd
surely
be very
not, right?
surprised.
I
What?
mean, someone could just come in like grab her out of the coffin.
So,
Like someone would,
so
right?
someone got. I think 2 people have been arrested for like. Well, no, but one for charging the coffin, one for
What's charging the coffin?
like he just like
Charging up
sprinted
it.
towards it.
What?
But yeah, he got like taken down by security before he could get there. And I think another guy, I think, was exposing himself and rubbing himself on people in the queue,
No.
which is yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean that does bring out the worst in people. I wouldn't worry about the resellers, to be honest. Like worry about the people in that fucking queue.
It wasn't Andrew, was it?
No, I think the queues are over 18 only. Anyway, we'll probably edit that bit out. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of abuse on TikTok, having launched my video career. It's pretty horrendous because like Twitter's sort of a bit of a safe space because like there's a lot of people kind of doing FBA and people kind of I guess on Twitter you kind of follow who you want to follow, so the content's kind of tailored to you. Whereas with TikTok, it's more random, so you get a lot of idiots commenting like Cab C. So just a crap version of drop shipping. Well done, matey. And Lucy and Roger, never going to work. If you can't show wholesale invoices and you're not an improved seller of beauty, your account will be blocked by Amazon. Which is
You did her
interesting.
generous on the way you said that because that is not how she spelt it at all.
I know.
Her
Yeah,
words were very mixed up.
I made that actually make grammatical sense, unlike her comment or his and her comment. But yeah, but definitely not the sharpest tools in the box. But yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, but we're all like we've all got followings on Twitter, you do get a lot of videos. It's just yeah, it's another level once you get on video. Obviously, I'm working on my blinking. I've blinked 562 times since the start of this episode because I'm counting them now. So trying to not look like a serial killer. So are you guys ever gonna go down the video route?
Probably not.
Connor's a man that keeps to himself. I mean, he doesn't need to get out there. He has enough notoriety in the Amazon space. But I think for me, I've seen how well it's going for you, Ben. I mean, your video is absolutely shred engagement. So I might get into it, but I just hate being sociable. To be honest, absolutely hate it. I'd much rather just not.
Just crack on in the background, sort of thing. But yeah, the comments I find quite amusing. Obviously, I know that I've got, like, having done it for a couple of years, obviously, like, we all know that it works, and got hundreds of people in ATA that we've helped as well. So we've got sort of back up there to prove that we're not just like scammers or whatever. But I think, yeah, even though, like, you do have, like, you need a thick skin for it, yeah, but I think it's still important to, like, not become too engrossed in the negative comments, because, like, if you surround that with yourself with that negativity, that can't be a good thing. I mean, I wouldn't even use social media if I wasn't, like, using it for business. I think it's like a massive time drain, and it's pretty destructive, I think. But
Isn't it absolutely like disgusting how tarnished Amazon FBA's name is though? Because, like, if you ever go onto YouTube and you search Amazon FBA one time, suddenly every single ad you get for the next 7 years is some guy going, do you want to be on holiday right now? Buy my Amazon FBA mentoring. And I think people see that all the time and just associate it with being a scam. And before I started doing this, I thought it was a scam as well, because there's so many scammers doing it. And I think that's became the problem with dropshipping as well. Is dropshipping at one point was a legitimate business, and then so many like fake gurus came on the train, and suddenly now, well, dropshipping kind of is shit, but there was legitimate people making money, and now it's just people just think it's a scam.
yeah, it is crazy. Like, I helped one of my mates, his wife, when she was on maternity leave. I showed her how to get set up and stuff, and she's still doing it now. Nice little cheeky Amazon FBA business. But my mate said, unless you were doing it yourself and my wife was doing it, I would think it's a scam as well, because it's just like, even when you're doing it, it sounds too good to be true, because it's just like, literally, especially when you've got a VA and a prep center and stuff, and it really is that straightforward. So yeah, it's just yeah, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, really. There's a lot of fake gurus out there and stuff. So obviously we're genuinely helping people, but a lot of people are put off by these people who promise the world and don't deliver.
Well, you can speak for yourself there, Ben. I just permanently scam people, really. I just take the money
Yeah,
and
who am I
run.
kidding?
Yeah. I do think, though, for next episode we should get a cat cam, because I'm really engrossed staring at your
So
cat
am
right
I.
now.
What's she up to? I thought she was licking her ass. It's her leg, thankfully.
Do you still have an upstairs and a downstairs cat?
I do, yeah, because yeah. So this is Vera behind my shoulder here. So she's the one that just was in the whole time. Gladys is upstairs, who's the one that escapes. But yeah, Vera's just being a dickhead. So the one that lost and came back, Vera doesn't recognise her, so thinks she's an intruder. So she's like trying to mark her territory and stuff. So yeah, so I leave my bedroom door open when I'm in, hoping that they'll sort of come together and like sort of tolerate each other, kind of thing. But I have to, like, sometimes they fight and stuff, and so I shut her away when I'm out, because I don't want to come back and like they've killed each other or something. But yeah, hopefully they'll reunite soon. But yeah, it's been what, 2 or 3 weeks now since she's been back. So it's a miracle, to be honest. 6 weeks and a day she was outside, having never been outdoors at all. But yeah, hopefully, yeah. Having a cat living in my bedroom isn't the nicest thing. Having like a litter tray by the bed and stuff. Really interesting if I bring a girl back at any point, but maybe I'll go to hers instead.
Yeah, or just not meet the girl.
Yeah,
More realistic.
just MG Towel. But yeah, obviously, hopefully I'll blow up on TikTok and have people girls sliding in my DM soon. But I will say, yeah, the only comments so far have been resoundingly negative. But for every negative comment, there's hopefully someone who might take action, and because that's like I genuinely enjoy helping people make that first step into it. But yeah, it is weird because obviously, as I said, Twitter, you sort of, it makes me laugh when people post shit on Twitter in response to people. It's like, you're literally following me. Like, if you don't like my content, just unfollow. Whereas on TikTok, I guess it just like randomly pops up because you don't need to be following them. But yeah, I block very liberally on Twitter, as you've probably seen. Like, if you're a dickhead or if you try and like call me out, whether it's directly or indirectly, I'm just going to block you. I can't be asked with the negativity. There's just no point. So my Twitter feed is all now lovely and positive. Just can't be asked for that. What about you guys? Are you muters or blockers?
Neither.
Yeah, Connor just takes the smoke because Connor likes to
fire it back
argue
at him.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I love winding people up. So it's me that usually gets blocked by other people.
I think for
Badge of honour.
me, I just block people even if I've never encountered them before. So like if I see you and you just tweet like a dickhead, then I just block you immediately. We don't even have to have a single conversation or anything. And I remember once this guy messaged Ben and was like, "Oh, I've never spoken to this guy. Does he have a problem with me?" And I blocked him. Yeah, just based off his tweets alone. So yeah, I'll block anyone and anyone. I don't care. Just so I don't have to see their tweets. So what's new in everyone's Amazon business this week? Connor, why don't you lead us off?
It's just been full of stress, and I've learned to hate Amazon because although the customer service is normally really, really good, it's been dog shit for this week. So far I've had a $4,000 order, which was sent to ATP. The order's glitched on Amazon because I think I ordered like 900 of one item. It's completely disappeared. I didn't get any one-time passcodes, so perhaps I couldn't accept it. And it seems to have just disappeared. I don't have the money back, and customer service say the order doesn't exist.
Sure.
So that's good. I returned $8,000 worth of smoke alarms back at the start of August. I keep getting told I'll get a refund within a day, but it's never happened. And I ordered, I think it was 999 packs of Snickers back in January. I only had about 500. Again, the order's glitched because there's so many, but I've had to finally go through Amex for a chargeback for about $2,500 because, again, they just can't do anything complex. It's a bit ridiculous.
And what happens when you like ask to speak to a manager?
They can't do anything. They're useless, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean I'm having a little problem with Amazon in that type of regard in America. I
Mhm.
made a bunch of orders. My account got suspended, my buying account, because I placed too many orders in a short period of time, and they shipped my orders, so they didn't refund me. But my prep center never got the orders, so I think they like recalled them,
Yeah.
and I haven't been refunded. And I've spoken to them like 4 times. Every time they're like, "Yeah, we'll refund you in 48 hours." Just
Never
never
happens.
happens. Never
Yeah.
happens.
That's just what they say to get you off the call or whatever.
Yeah. And then I spoke to a manager, completely fucking useless.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe one more call and it will fix, but
Nightmare.
not helpful.
I guess you're probably going to have to go down the chargeback route for those as well. But does that the chargeback sort of risks your relationship with like whoever you're charging back from.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was scared of.
yeah,
Because my
you don't want
Amazon
to
went
like
banned for the third time this year.
Yeah.
But I think because obviously they can't see an order exists,
Hmm.
they can't even link the charge to anything. They get a random order number when I gave them the charge ID,
Hmm.
which didn't even associate with my account. So I think it'll be fine. But
Yeah.
you know, charging back Amazon is kind of scary in this way.
Absolutely. So I remember yeah, what were the other reasons your accounts were banned? Because I remember when you had the same email address as your business account and they locked you out of that for some reason, which
Yeah.
then
God, I don't remember. It's been that long.
But yeah,
The
that
second
must be
time-
scary. You had like a 90 grand loan outstanding with them as well.
I did as well, yeah. The seller account was fine. It was still there in the background. I just, you know, couldn't access it. I didn't have any sort of backdoor at the time. The second reason was because I placed an order. I think it was about 20 grand. And they wanted a statement for the card, but they'd asked for a statement for a Visa card, which didn't exist when I paid with an American Express. So it took about a week of arguing with them saying, this card doesn't exist, it's this card, before they finally realized and unlocked my account again.
It's scary. Like, I mean, this is like we all do this full time. Like, your livelihoods, our livelihoods are sort of in the hands of idiots. And like someone's like, so yeah, using that example, it's like, oh yeah, they asked for proof of a statement for this card that doesn't exist, and then yeah, they're just going to lock you until you get through to someone who understands that it doesn't exist. It's crazy, really, and quite scary.
Yeah.
Have you ever been like locked out or banned, Gage?
No, never. Not on my selling account. Many buying accounts in the US, yes, but no, I've been completely fine on my selling account. Touch wood. But yeah, it's something I worry about on my new US account because like newer accounts are just more fragile when it comes to these things. You know, you can have some account health violations and suddenly your account goes poof. But I think my UK account is pretty bulletproof at this stage. But something new with my Amazon is Roy's gone on holiday for a week.
Oh no. Can your business cope without him? I guess it'd be a good test.
Yeah, I don't think so, to be honest. I've got to review all my own deals. It's just going to be a week of hell, really. But at least Roy's going to have a nice time away. I think he's back next week. So like he left yesterday, and I think he's coming back in a week's time. So going to be quite difficult managing my own business, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, it's all about working on, not in. But yeah, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. But mine's going pretty well, actually, ticking over quite nicely for September, compared to previous months. I'm finding Amazon are just losing so much shit in shipments recently, though. It's an absolute nightmare. And like, it's not the biggest issue because usually you can just get the reimbursement. But when they say, "Oh, investigation complete," this 12 kilo box that was weighed at UPS and received had no items in it. It's like, how can that be physically possible? But like, you have to just go back and forth with them. It's an absolute nightmare.
What I'm finding really successful is, so the managing director is obviously almost every time works, but doing where I just ask for the weight repeatedly until they give it to me, because I know they can, and they do like what you put the weight as, what the courier said the weight was, and what they received the weight as. And I just had one where the received weight was like 5 kilos less than the courier weight, and they just refunded me straight away.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty good angle to go down. Yeah, nice one. But yeah, so I've been also making a few videos this week, obviously getting myself out there. But I've had a couple of angry messages from people saying, "Oh, I bought this item and now it's going to tank." It's like, yeah, it's obviously just stuff that my VAs have found, but obviously other people's VAs and people themselves are going to find them. It's just part of the game, unfortunately. But so few people actually are going to see that video and actually go and buy the item or even try and source things themselves. I think people, yeah, it's a very small number, and yeah, with the item in mind, I deliberately waited until it was out of stock at the retailer before posting the video to not contribute to tanking, hopefully. But we shall see how the listing lies, and obviously I do a double check before posting. It's like, right, I said this was 35 quid. I hope just check it hasn't like tanked down to 20 or something. So that'd be good. I'd have a lot of negative comments that would be kind of justified there. But yeah, apart from that, just ticking on, and I think we can get sort of probably turn money over one more time before thinking about Q4 now. So yeah, I'm just not changing tactics at all. I'm going to sort of start thinking about Q4 sort of end of October, start of November, really. Until then, it's just business as usual, I think.
I don't know if you guys have been like in real life shopping recently,
Well,
but
no.
everywhere has Christmas stuff already. Like
Yeah,
B&M's
seen it.
already selling advent calendars. It's weird how there's like no Halloween stuff anywhere, very little. But then, like at my B&M, there's 4 aisles of just Christmas stuff, and
Wow.
we're in mid-September, so it's a little bit scary how fast it's going to creep up. I think we're going to blink and it's going to be Christmas.
That's pretty insane. Are you going to be getting a bunch of advent calendars this year?
No. I found 30 Lego advent calendars last week. I was so pissed off.
Are they? Can they just be resold this year, or were they like specific 2021 ones?
I think they are specific, but people still buy them.
Yeah.
But it's like £30 on Amazon. It's still a loss, unfortunately.
Yes. Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
I remember pretty much. There was some. I think the Nivea one did quite well. That was
Yep.
an Amazon to Amazon one. But yeah, a lot of them. I think people all had the same idea, and most advent calendar listings I saw went to shit.
I've got a good story about a chocolate buying at Christmas for Amazon. In like late November, Tesco was running a sale on these like Cadbury packs right at the front of my local Tesco, and they were like 50% ROI on Amazon. So and they sold, thousands. It was like classic chocolate on Amazon. So I needed to get lots, and I went in with me and my girlfriend had a big trolley each, and we were just loading the boxes of chocolate, not just the bar, like just boxes of them into the trolley. And the security guard comes over, and he goes, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And I was like, "Oh, we're just trying to buy some chocolate." He's like, "Oh, why are you buying so much?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck. Okay, what do I say?" Oh, my mum just bought a candy store in Ramsgate, and they're cheaper here than they are from the wholesaler because they're on offer. And he goes, "Oh, that's nice. How many are you looking to buy?" And I'm like, 35 boxes. And he goes, "Oh, okay, that's fine. You're not going to fit for 35 in the trolley. What I'll do is I'll get a member of staff to bring out some cages for you, and we'll just load them in the cages." So we got 3 cages, just chucked them all in, and he helped us wheel them out to the car, and he even put them in for us.
What guy?
Yeah.
That's amazing. If you can make those sort of relationships with RA, like have you still got your B&M contact who can basically do you B&M click and collect effectively? That's pretty sweet.
It's just about making it. Well, I mean, to the B&M guy, I'm completely honest, but yeah, that Tesco one was a complete lie. My mum does not have a sweet shop.
I thought you were going to say that. Goes, oh, cool. What's the name of the shop and where is it and stuff like that?
I think he asked for like the name or something. I was like, "Oh yeah, we don't have one yet," or something like that. I didn't actually make up a name. And the worst time that I made up a lie and it caught up with me was me and my girlfriend were in Home Bargains, and she was buying some stuff for her own Amazon account, and it was loads of pet food because they had a pet food sale, loads and loads and loads of pet food. And the girl says to us, "Oh, you must have a lot of pets." And I go, "Yeah, we've got 4 dogs, 2 cats." And she goes, "Oh, what breed are your dogs?" And I'm allergic to dogs, so I obviously don't know any breed of dogs. So I was like,
Brown one.
um, Shih Tzu, like and she's like, oh okay, and just doesn't speak to me anymore until we leave. Like she just knew I was lying.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I've got several children who, fictional children, of course, who, yeah, were spun into my web of lies when I was doing lots of RA, like buying like 20 Lego sets, all the same one. I was like, oh yeah, the kids and the cousins are gonna love these and stuff like that. It's yeah, it's quite funny. But I mean, yeah, sometimes you do stumble across an employee who like helps you out and stuff like your B&M person. Have you got any good RA stories, Conza?
Well, I don't really do any RA, but I think it was probably back when we were buying prints from Tesco's. I basically just had to lie multiple times saying I was buying for people working from home.
Hmm.
I was an office manager.
Yeah.
We had a trolley stacked up with about 10, 15 printers.
Oh,
Apart from
yeah.
that, not really, no.
Fuck, I have a good story about Tesco printers as well. I mean, back in COVID, I'm sure you guys know you could, if you went into Tesco and they had printers in stock, you could make 500 quid on one
Yep.
Tesco trip. So me and Alex, the other guy that owns the warehouse with me and Ben, we would hit up our local Tesco all the time to get printers. And once Alex was there with his friend and they loaded up 2 trolleys, and the manager asks them, "Oh, you know, what are you doing with those printers?" And Alex is maybe Alex doesn't know how to play the game. Yeah, he's just quite straight up, right? Because really, if someone asks you, you know, why are you buying those printers? It you know, why the fuck does it matter? You know? And he was and he just said, you know, it's none of your business or something like that. And she was like, well, it's my business, blah, blah, blah. Start shouting at him. And then they have like an argument and then they get kicked out of Tesco, saying they're not allowed to buy anything. And then they come back the next day and they've actually taken away all of the printers from the shelf. And now you have to speak to customer service and ask what printer you want,
Wow.
Wow.
and they will get on for you. So completely ruined the whole Tesco
So,
loop because Alex argued with the Tesco manager.
So he's banned from Tesco and Sainsbury's.
No, we got unbanned from Sainsbury's
Really?
actually. So if you guys don't know, we got banned from Sainsbury's because we ordered click and collect 220 air fresheners, and they refused to give them to us. So then we went into the store and we just bought all of the air fresheners. It was like 8 air fresheners, right? Not a ridiculous amount or anything. And as I'm about to pay, the manager runs up to the till we're at and goes, "Don't let them pay! Don't let them pay!" And we're like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "You know, we're not letting you get any air fresheners." And Alex starts having an argument with him, almost gets in a fight with the security, and we end up getting kicked out. And right before we get kicked out, they actually find that I paid for the air fresheners before the guy cancelled the transaction. So then their manager hands me the air fresheners, and then we
that
just
must have been
leave.
lovely.
But then the next day, Alex finds the email of the sales manager at that Sainsbury's or something, or like head of online or some shit, and actually goes over that manager's head and unbans us. Because they're like, he said, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't be banned for trying to spend money at the store."
Fair play.
Wow.
Probably my best one is those sewing machines, the LS14 ones from Argos. Obviously,
Yes.
a big Amazon to Amazon as well. But yeah, I was just buying them constantly from all my local Argos stores, and finally got a Karen who was like, "Oh yeah, you're clearly buying these to resell, so we're going to cancel this and all your other orders." And I was just like, I mean, there's no point really arguing with them because once they've done you, they've done you. So basically, I got in the car, I quickly went to the next store and got my order there before they were able to cancel them. And then with Argos, home delivery is based on the stock of local stores. So when I got home, I went onto Argos, and the order of 10 that they'd cancelled, I ordered for home delivery next day, because obviously they were in stock at the local Argos to me. So yeah, I couldn't click and collect them, but I had them hand delivered to me the next morning, which felt very good. So yeah.
Lovely.
I have a client that has a really good tactic when it comes to answering questions in real life. All he'll just say is, "Oh, I don't know, my mum just told me to go and get them."
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And isn't that brilliant? Because no one's going to be like, "What?" Like, no, my mum. Mum told me I got the wrong one. And I actually tried that recently because I went to Pets at Home. They cancelled my order. I did click and collect, and I went there, and they were like, "Oh, we can't give it to you. Someone cancelled it." So like, "Oh, can I just buy it in store?" They were like, "Sure." But the promo code, like the promo for that item had gone, and after I paid for it, I'd paid too much. So I had to come back and return it the next day, and they were like, "Oh, why are you returning it?" "Oh, my mum just told me I got the wrong one." No more questions. Like no one's going to harass you on that. So I do think that is the perfect tactic.
That is genius. I think we're going to create a new army of RA sellers who are going out shopping for their mums, I think, after this. So yeah, right. So where should we? Anything else you guys want to bring up with, or should we wrap it up for episode 2?
Have a good holiday, Roy, if you're listening.
He's sipping a cocktail as he's listening, I'm sure.
Probably a cocktail out of a coconut on the beach.
It's the way to do it. Cool. Well, yeah, thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and catch you soon for episode 3.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
Bye.
Bye.
The Amazon crew. The Amazon crew.